The 2025 Ballon d'Or as we speak is only a mere few days away, and for the first time in what feels like more than 2 decades, we are still not sure who even makes the podium, let alone take the golden ball home. And therefore, it feels like as good a time as any to make this video, cause while I couldn't have made it last year, the winner was split between about 3 people from the start, and I couldn't have made it during the Messi and Ronaldo era, the winner was split between 2 people period, and I couldn't have made it before the era, cause well, YouTube didn't exist back then. And neither did most of you. So allow me right now, for the very first and possibly last time, bring you 7 potential Ballon d'Or winners for 7 completely different reasons. Let's roll on. Number 1. The unranked individual who deserves a mention. Or as I like to call it, the Diego Milito special jury mention. If you know, you know. What a less portion of you are guaranteed to know about though, is this individual. Someone who's largely gone unnoticed despite a very impressive 33 goal contributions across all competitions last season. This includes 4 for his country in the World Cup qualifiers, as well as a total of 6 goals in 7 games against the top 4 in the country he applies his trade in. And yes, in case you haven't worked out by now, he as a matter of fact does not play for a top 4 team. As a matter of fact, his side finished almost bang on mid-table. Probably goes a long way to explaining why he was being overlooked. Again, if you know, again you know. So, who do you think this is? Well, either pause the video and let me know in the comments below, and or wait till the outro when I reveal my answers. But in case those clues weren't enough for you to work with, I'll end the entry with this. He occasionally wears checkered jerseys but was really a diamond in the rough. He turned up at times of need. He got going when the going got tough. His youthful appearance may appear to contradict the data on his passport, but his calmness under pressure very much reflected what can't be bought. Have at it. Number 2. The player who deserves a mention but will get ignored. AKA the same entry as the last one, but for a player who was actually nominated, and perhaps is due to the divisive outlook on his pure footballing abilities. The insane season this individual has had has really gone under the radar. This was his very first season in a league that's much better than where he'd been playing for his entire career up to that point. He played in a position he stated many times he does not enjoy playing in, yet not only did he still knuckle down and deliver, but in the end began breaking records with his crazy output. So who do you think it is? Well, either pause the video and let me know in the comments below, and or wait till the outro when I reveal my answers. But in case those weren't enough clues for you to go by, I'll end the entry with this. He followed his idol's footsteps, finally taking the step he'd been teasing for ages, and once settled got going full steam, breezing through the adaptation stages. He may fight evil in a quartet, but on the pitch he was mostly left alone, though when on form he still delivered, taking it to both of Pep's homes on his own. Number 3. The best pure footballer. Now, anyone who knows anything about my takes on football very well know that I could care less about this entry when judging ability. However, I'm not daft enough to completely disregard the existence of the eye test. Yes, we're talking about the player who, if we were all still at school, is most likely to pick the ball up from the keeper and run past everyone and score, a la Diego Maradona 1986, a la Lionel Messi 2007. And in the footballing season of 2024-2025, there has been one player who stood above all when it comes to making you stand up off and or on your seat. He's a player who seems to glide across the grass when cutting in, weaving in and out of defenders with such ease, and mind you, he was able to even transfer those skills to the big games like Inter Milan and Real Madrid, for he really is the best kid on the playground. So who do you think this is? Well, either pause the video and let me know in the comments below, and or stay till the outro when I reveal the answers. But yes, in case I haven't provided you with sufficient evidence just yet, I'll close with this. He's known for cutting through defenses in record speed, yet seems to slow down the game when switching gears. Using his brain far more than anyone his age, he is truly wise beyond his years. For he merely be a brace-faced boy bereft of any blaring brain builder bulk, but take your eyes off him for a second and guaranteed he'll make you sulk. Number 4. The stats merchant's favorite. Self-explanatory, here's the load on the man who led the numbers in 2025. So in the domestic league, this player was 6th in the top scorers chart, joined 2nd in the assist charts, 4th on SPGs, 3rd on key passes, and 3rd on overall ratings. And now have you know these numbers were similar, if not a tad better, on the biggest stage. Cause in the Champions League last season, this same player was 1st in the top scorers charts, 1st in the assist charts, 7th in SPGs, 4th in key passes, and outright 1st on overall rating. Here goes that merchants. This is your guy. Who is your guy? Well, either pause the video and comment your guess, and or wait till the outro when I reveal the answers. But in case all this was still not enough for you to go by, I'll close with a quick one. He let his younger teammate take their spotlight, despite breaking ankles in his own right, making defenders wish they called in ill. Rarely a surprise given that he's from the origin of skill. Number 5. Who should win according to the right criteria, aka my criteria. And for those who don't know, this is my criteria. This is how I judge a Ballon d'Or contender. The Roy Keane category just means how well did a player do his job, by the way, e.g. how well a striker finished, a midfielder created, defender delayed, goalkeeper prevented, and most importantly, not mix it up like you simpletons do. I am above that. And you know who else I'm above? The Ballon d'Or voters, because you see, unlike them, I stick to my criteria. And that indeed means I will pick the individual who was there for his team both during good and bad phases in the season, being the best player for his team even during the early UCL run where they lost 3 out of the first 5 games, completing the most take-ons in 1 out of the 3 losses, as well as the most tackles out of anyone on his team in 2 out of the 3 losses. Furthermore, my selectee I'll have you know is also known to perform on the big occasion, knocking in 3 goal contributions across 2 legs in the UCL quarterfinals, locking down one of the most informed wingers in the world in the semi-final, being part of another clean sheet in the final, and scoring while having the most informed winger in the world on lock in the Nations League final. Have I said too much? Trick question. I'm never too much. So what is my choice? Pause the video and comment below if you know, which you should, since it's the right choice. But in case you're one of low intelligence, I'll throw you one last bone with this. He played with both modern day GOATs, though he refrains from choosing one over another, currently working for the former club of one, graduating from the same system as the other. He also famously pocketed the hottest ring right now, seemingly sticking the kid's legs to his own with staples, truly throwing a spanner in the works for the Glazers. No, not the owners from the States, but the writer from Naples. Number 6. Who would win if they were honest with their own criteria? And for those who don't know, this is the official Ballon d'Or criteria. As you can see, not nearly as specific and or presentable as mine, but I don't expect anything more from them amateurs. So who according to their own criteria deserves the award? Well, the question should be who other than the individual who not only won it all with his club, but won it as the go-to man for his club. He took over the role vacated by their greatest goal scorer ever, and on first try, finished the season as their top scorer. He was involved in at least 1 goal in every Champions League game from the second leg of the second round onwards. And as far as class and fair play, he received only 1 yellow card the entire season and received 1 red card his entire career. And yes, if those weren't enough clues, I'll close with this. His name translates to a baby dragon, though he moves more like a grown cheetah. He'd been written off for years prior to this, ergo the redemption I imagine could not have felt sweeter. He passed 50 games in a season for the first time, bit of a surprise since he's played in 11, though not so much once you view his medical records, which suggest his hamstrings are probably already in heaven. And number 7, who really is going to win this year's Ballon d'Or? And this is something I predicted by looking at the list of winners in recent years and assessing any patterns that may appear. And indeed, they do. For example, the Champions League has been historically given a lot of significance when it comes to the Ballon d'Or. And if they continue to follow their own criteria, they should continue to do just that. But they haven't, have they? At least not since the beginning of this decade. As a matter of fact, since the start of the 2020s, only one of the Ballon d'Or winners actually won the Champions League in the corresponding season. Not entirely sure why, perhaps because there isn't anyone as marketable winning the cup on a regular basis since the Messi and Ronaldo era. Have I perhaps said too much there? Do I give a fuck? So instead, in recent times, the Ballon d'Or winner is usually either a big name player who is very popular, yes, very marketable, an extremely well-known name in the world of football who on top of all that had a brilliant season that could easily be measured by statistics. Or someone who either won the World Cup, Copa or Euros. But since none of those took place this year, we don't need to worry about that. We instead need to concern ourselves with the biggest name on the list of nominees. A big name who in 24-25 also put up big numbers and led the stats both across the league and amongst players in his very own team. And despite the country he plays in having a history of being overlooked when it comes to the Ballon d'Or, given the very recent breaking of that particular streak, it doesn't seem like a problem anymore. So who is it? Well, either pause the the video and comment, and or wait for the almost immediate outro. But yes, if all those clues were still not enough, I'll end the video with this. An inspiration to the minorities. His journey is what separates him from the rest. Far removed from being the kid who traveled 4 hours a day to training, or even the man who warmed the bench in the southwest. And bar his annual holiday post, which seems to create an FT rumble, he's idolized by fans all over the world, yet chooses to remain humble. Number 8. The bonus potential Ballon d'Or winner, Messi. And that is that. Agree or disagree, beats indifference. So what do you think of these candidates? What were your first guesses? Who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or? Who do you want to win the Ballon d'Or? Let me know all that and more in the comments below. And as usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till next time, you keep rolling.